Hello everyone, this is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Computer Information Systems at Ozarka College. Today what I'm going to do is give you just a little bit of feedback on the Module 9 activities that I finished grading earlier this week. And then I'm going to tell you what we've got coming up for our last set of module activities, which will be after the Thanksgiving break for Module 10. And then also going to briefly mention the final exam and kind of give you a little bit of information about that. All right, so first thing is, like I said, I did finish grading the Module 9 activities earlier this week. Most of you did really well on those Module 9 activities, so go in and look at your grades and read the grading comments and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. It's obvious that most of you are putting the time and effort in that's needed to do well on those activities, so just keep up the good work on that. We just have a few weeks left in this semester, so just keep working hard, and we'll be done here in just a few weeks, so just keep working on that. All right, the Module 10 activities. If we go to the activities page in Ozarka, right now we are kind of on the middle portion of week 14 of this semester. Of course, we had work due earlier this week on Monday, and so we don't have anything else due this week, and I purposely didn't make anything due during Thanksgiving week, which is next week. So our next set of activities, and actually our last set of module activities, are due the Wednesday when we come back after the Thanksgiving break. So that will be specifically Wednesday, December 3rd is when the Module 10 activities will be due. Okay, so we look here under week 16. That's when the Module 10 activities are due, and that it might seem like December 3rd is quite a ways off from now, but if you think about it, that Thanksgiving week is in there. So if you're not wanting to do anything during Thanksgiving week, then you're either going to have to do your work this week for Module 10 or do it early in the week when we come back after the Thanksgiving break. So if it was me, I would go ahead and try to get it done this week, and that way you don't have to worry about it after or during or after the Thanksgiving break. All right, but just be working on that, the Module 10 activities. Module 10, by the way, deals with databases and data storage, which is very important for businesses. So in Module 10, you're going to learn about what a database is, why it's used, why it is an important piece of software for businesses today. And you'll learn about something called the database approach, which is just a way to kind of organize all the data that a business needs in order to be able to retrieve it very easily later on. So you'll learn about the database approach. You'll learn about the various components of a database, like fields and records and tables and queries and forms and reports. So there are various parts that make up a database and various things that you can generate with a database. So you'll learn about that. You'll also learn about the types of data that can be stored in databases, and it's huge different types of data and amounts of data that can be stored in a database. And you can imagine that a business would need to be able to store various types of data, anywhere from text all the way up to high definition video, all kinds of different kinds of data that would need to be stored in a business database. So you'll learn about that. You'll also learn about the functions of a database, various things that you can do with it. You'll also learn about the most common type of database that businesses use today, called a relational database, where various parts of your database are related to other parts. In one database, it has some kind of relation to another database. And the reason that you do that is to kind of cut down on the amount of data that you have to store. So you're not storing the same data in multiple locations. You can store it in one database and then create a relationship between that database and another one where you need to use that same information. So you'll learn about that. You'll also learn about database management systems, which are basically, it's the software that is used to create databases and so forth. And then towards the end of Module 10, you'll learn how to set up a database. There's a set of steps that you have to go through to set up a database. You generally start with a table, and you create the fields and records in that table. You set your data types and so forth. And then that's the basic object within the database is the table. And then with that table that you set up in the database, you can generate other objects like queries and forms and reports and so forth. All right, so you'll learn about that. And then at the very end of the module, you'll learn about something that's very important when you're storing data, especially online, and that is integrity and security of the database. Making sure that only those people that need to have access it can access it, so that you don't have security issues. Okay. All right, so that's Module 10. So be working through Module 10. Remember the resources you have, your textbook, the PowerPoint slides on the assignment page in Miles Arca. You also have the videos that I've linked on the assignment page. So just make sure you're using all those resources. And I think most of you are using that. So just keep doing what you've been doing, using those resources. And the only other thing that we'll have besides the Module 10 activities due, for the rest of this semester is the final exam. So that week of the final exam, which will be that last week of the semester basically, is when we'll have our final exam available. It'll be available from Monday through Wednesday of final exam week. So that'll be December 8th through the 10th. Specifically, and I will be sending out more information, very specific information about the final exam, probably either tomorrow or Friday of this week, so be looking for that. And in addition to that, I'll send out an email just kind of reminding you about that last set of module activities for Module 10 that I just talked about. So be looking for that. And other than that, I don't have anything else for you for today. So enjoy the rest of this week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving week next week. And everybody have a good time. And be ready to finish up strong when we come back after the Thanksgiving break. All right? And so I will probably talk to you again later in the week when we come back after the Thanksgiving break. So I will talk to you then. Thank you.